name is Judy Buckland, and I'm here with my colleague John Wright, and we're with Evolven Corporation. And our company is headquartered out of Israel, and we are the U.S. representatives here. The company was started about 7 years ago by Sasha Gillenson, and he was the head of QA for Mercury for 12 years, and our head of R&D was also their head of R&D. So they are very familiar with the space that we're going to talk about here. And as I said, the company's about 7 years old, and we predominantly work in the United States, although we do have global customers, but our primary focus is the U.S. marketplace. And we had the honor of being chosen as Gartner's Cool Vendor this year, as well as chosen for the Red Herring 100 Award. And both of those awards came to us mostly because both of these judges felt that our product was the only one that was actually bringing innovation into the IT ops space for managing configuration change. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about the product and hopefully relay to you what it means to you. So, you know, when something goes wrong, if you're not in IT, you're probably thinking, what are those bozos doing down there trying to fix this? You know, like, I can't use my app. And if you are in IT, you're thinking, why can't I find this? You know, what is wrong with me? So, you know, you just know that something is broken. Well, you know, you're a very good company. It's a major problem for configuration change that it has caused so many issues worldwide and created so many problems. So configuration change used to be thought of as, oh, this is just my little tech guy, you know, he's got a little problem with configuration change. What people are realizing is that, and Gartner states that 80% of all outages are caused by configuration change. So it's no longer just something down in the very depths of the IT world. This is a huge problem for organizations. And we've been going to various conferences and asking a lot of CIOs and IT of operations executives how they feel about answering these particular questions. And they don't feel like they're doing a very good job of managing this. So again, everyone is in very good company. So how did this happen? Well, it happened to us because all these products want to be very differentiated from all these other products. So you start having extreme complexity in configuration management because people keep adding features and functionality to their products. And suddenly you've got things like Windows with over 200,000 configuration parameters, or WebSphere with over 30,000 configuration parameters. And people lose track of what things are set at or what's important or what's not important. It's humanly impossible to manage that. But you couple that with the dynamics of IT now being the business and requiring that it change very rapidly. You can't say to someone, oh yeah, we'll do that change in 6 months. You have to do those changes in 6 hours, especially if you're in businesses like, you know, entertainment or whatever. Things move rapidly. You don't have the time to wait. But yet everyone's managing these things the way they did 35 years ago. You've got, you know, IT people that are, you know, network people, operating system people, database people. Everyone's managing their piece of the pie. No one's speaking to each other. No one cares about anybody else's data. So you've got massive amounts of data moving rapidly, managed in silos. So that creates a big data problem. This is what Evolven solves. So how do we do that? Well, the first thing we had to do was come up with a way to look into your entire environment without being invasive. So we figured out a way to dynamically crawl through your entire environment and find at a very, very, very granular level all change. So I'm talking about things like, did a DLL change? Did a user get added? Did a permission change? Did a table change? Very, very granular level information. Now, there's a lot of products on the market that could probably find that if they were looking for it, but the problem is if they deliver all of that to you, even with 100 servers, you would be getting hundreds of thousands of changes. So impossible to go through and just figure out what's important and what's not. So that's where our brain and our analytics come in. That's the second part of our special sauce. We take every change and we run it through knowledge bases And these knowledge bases put, and this is all out of the box, by the way, the collection is out of the box, no input from you, and the knowledge bases are out of the box, no input from you. So we put everything through an impact category, and that would be performance, availability, functionality, reliability, etc. So automatically, every change at a very granular level goes through the knowledge base, which is out of the box, and gets put into an impact category. And then again, out of the box, no input from you, that change is categorized as critical, near critical, or not critical at all. We only bring to you the things that are important. So, oops, sorry. What's the effect of this? Well, you probably think today that you need to manage change on a continuous basis, that you have to know what changed right now. But if you really think about it, what you've discovered is that those changes that you're trying to find that created your broken systems, they happened yesterday, a week ago, a month ago, whatever. You just didn't see them. So the whole point is to be proactive and know where all those landmines or situations are that you should be able to solve before they blow up in your face. So proactive management on this side of the house is where most of our customers use this product. And what they're doing is they're automatically managing unauthorized or unplanned changes, and they're also automatically managing the consistency of their environments. What I mean by that is they know whether pre-prod, prod, and DR are in sync. And again, analytics built in there because no two environments are completely exactly the same, so we allow you to see if they are if they're in sync. So by managing proactively and seeing when a change happens before it causes a problem, you're able to mostly not have to react. But we are an ops product, an IT ops product, so we do allow Evolven to be invoked immediately if you're having a production problem, and go in and see what the last working environment was compared to now, either on a server-by-server basis or, let's say, pre-prod to prod. You've got, pre-prod's working great, prod's down, what's different? You've got a server that was working great 10 minutes ago, it's not working now, what's different? So that's the operations portion of it. We also allow you to do a lot of really interesting things with the data, again, our analytics. This is what we call our one-to-many. This allows you to look at a single server, a source, against many others, as many as you want, that should be exactly the same. So let's say you've got 100 WebSphere servers or 100 Oracle servers or whatever, they should all be exactly the same. You can now look at a very minute level, very detailed level to see that everything's the same. This is good for if you put out a new release, you want to make sure that everything's taken across all the servers as you expected. Evolven allows you to do a very quick look and see. So, and also if you've got problems, sometimes you've got problems with a service, you can't understand what's wrong. You look up and down, everything looks fine. That's because there are things that are set that are so minute that nobody can tell the difference. But if you compare on an infrastructure level the various components, so let's say you look at the Oracle servers that are associated with that particular service and all the others, at that point you might be able to see that something is different about that particular server from the others. So that could be your problem. So you get a vertical view of your service and a horizontal view of your infrastructure, and where the problems intersect can lead you to understanding what's wrong. So what are some of the effects of being able to do these things? So one of our customers anecdotally told us that 95% of unauthorized changes stop after 2 months when Evolven was put in. The reason for, and we've had plenty of people tell us similar stories, the reason for this is because we have an auditable history of every change made and everyone who was on the system at the time. So simply by telling people that these changes were made and so-and-so was on the system, without being punitive, the unauthorized changes stop. We also have a huge reduction in downtime because people see the changes before and don't need to wait until a problem arises. And then this was very interesting. This is in the DevOps area. Fidelity purchased us strictly for DevOps, so what they're doing with us is their typical procedure for a release was, you know, everyone gets everything ready for release, they do the test, there's all these configuration problems, they bring it back, there's an issue, they manually find them, you do the test again. So this goes back and forth. You know, they have to wait for subject matter experts. It's a very lengthy process. It reduces, or increases rather, the time to market, a lot of man-hours used. With Evolven, this the very first time that they used Evolven out of the box, they were able to save 200 hours in their first release using Evolven because they didn't have to go through that process. Those are real, very real numbers. 95% reduction in unauthorized changes, 60% reduction in downtime, 200 man-hours saved first time they used the product. That's Evolven. I hope you'll come by and see us. We'd love to talk to you. And thank you for coming today.